Renault Master. 120 brake horsepower, 6-speed, aircon, rear air suspension, and we've got 3 of these. And so it's a new batch, let's say, from the Welsh NHS service. We might be having a few of these come in, so let's just check out the configuration, because it's kind of an unusual one. They've been used for patient transport services. The battery isolate switch down here, and that does the auxiliary battery, which we have since removed in order to install the double seat. So there was originally a wheelchair holder located here, so we've removed that. We've added the seat belt and we've added a double seat, and we need to relocate the leisure battery now. Excuse me. So, like all ambulances, they're run by a really sophisticated system, which usually sits behind here. But because the NHS don't want these vehicles to work when we get them, they basically take all that out. So all the nice work that's been done by the original coach builder no longer exists, essentially. So before, when you open this door, the little ramp there would pull out, so you don't have to jump up. And this is the controller for the heating, extraction fan, lights and stuff. But like I said, because the Genesis module has been removed, we now need to look into rewiring it. So essentially all we do is we find the feeds for the various items, put them to a new fuse box, put them to a new switch, and obviously have that supported by the battery. Now, diesel heater is located here, and that's an air dispatcher. Now, given the fact that there was a wheelchair there before, wheelchair storage facility, they didn't intend for anyone to get in the vehicle, so this is a bit awkward. You could have that moved. Obviously, there's further costs associated with doing that sort of stuff, but just bear that in mind. You know, if you want that somewhere else in the vehicle, you're probably looking at another 150 pounds. Okay. So we've spoken about the step, we've spoken about the diesel heater, we've spoken about rewiring the electrics, and of course that would mean as well positioning the auxiliary battery in here somewhere, but we wait to see what the customer wants. There is also a ramp on the back, which could also be wired up again. It's usually controlled by this, but nothing works. Here's the air suspension button, so that when you're ready to use the ramp, press that, the air suspension will drop down. Various switches here for the lights. These can all be rewired up, so just bear that in mind. Looks pretty clean. The underneath video looks pretty good. I would recommend a bit of underseal in some areas, perhaps a little bit more of a further investigation of the underneath. The tyres were all good. Check out the inspection report. They're all virtually new tyres. One thing that is worth doing to this vehicle, which we will be doing, is just pulling these trims off here. It's a commonplace on these Masters. If we catch it now, whilst it's still solid, it shouldn't be an issue for the future. So we're going to pull those off, prep them, and that will be all good. Yeah, it's a reasonably tidy ex-PTS vehicle. Not a huge fan of the red, but you know, I imagine that all of these seats will be taken out by the prospect customer. Perhaps you'll leave these covered in, and the blinds obviously, and that's probably about it. Right, hope this was, I'll show you the engine running. Actually, that's probably a wise move. That's just the air suspension hissing. That button there would originally combine the power of the aux battery and the chassis battery to start the engine if it was flat. Rightio. See you later.